Hello scrappers and planet lovers, Tin Man here with another video. So today what I want to talk about are brass plug-ins. You find them on every appliance cord while scrapping. They come in two colors. You either have the nice clean gold look or the metallic color, which is nickel plated brass. They have sometimes 4 prongs, sometimes 2 prongs, sometimes 3 prongs, and there is a lot of debate from scrappers looking at if it is worthwhile separating the brass from the appliance cord or leaving it on there for the weight for the appliance cord. Currently in Canada right now, clean brass is going for $2.53 a pound, which is great. The nickel coated brass is a little bit less because there's less brass and there's nickel, so it's about $2.30 a pound, which is still great. And what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to focus on some do's and don'ts, and I'm also going to actually take apart one of these larger appliance cords. You find these nice cords on dryers or ovens, and as you can see, these have really nice thick brass prongs on them, okay? I do keep my brass separate, so as you can see, there are my nickel coated brass prongs. There's 3 pounds there, okay? So I do take them off, and you do want to make sure you separate them before you go to the scrapyard. If you put your metallic colored prongs with your clean brass, you are going to get penalized because it will now be a dirty load, so you'll get the lower value. So you do want to make sure you separate them. These smaller ones, they are very easy to take off, and the nice thing is I don't bother cutting any of the plastic on these to get the prongs out. All I do, very simple, is I actually just put on my safety glasses. I take a pair of pliers, I just grab it, and I will just bend it. Okay, so I don't take the whole thing. There's still some inside there, and these prongs are connected to copper. But as you can see, this is a nice piece. If I open up, put it to the camera, it is brass inside there. So that will go in the bucket, okay? I just pull the other one. Some people will put them in the vise, but I don't need to. That's pretty easy, okay? And I just, like I said, just bend it off. There you go. It broke off. And now I will put this cord into my insulated copper wire. I'm looking inside here. There's only 1 coating of copper. So this will still go into my 60% copper recovery wire. I do want to quickly just touch on this. I do have a video on different cords and talk about how to maximize your profit with that. So if you're interested in that, go check that out. But for the sake of this video, just very quickly, if I look inside this cord, there's only 1 layer of copper on this, or a plastic to copper, which means there is higher copper to plastic ratio here. So if this actually had 2 coatings, so an outer coating and then each one of these strands had another additional plastic coating on top of that, there would be more plastic, which would mean it would be 40% copper recovery, and I would get $1.23 a pound instead of $1.83. Okay, so this is going to be $1.83 still. So very simple. Same thing with this one. Okay, here is a gold prong. I'm just gonna, same thing, grab my pliers. And I find the gold ones are harder to pull out sometimes. But as you can see, this is off of a Christmas light. This is a lot nicer, very clean. Okay, so this is gonna go into my clean brass. And I'll do it on both sides here. So I just grab it, pull it out. There it is, the whole thing came out. Clean brass, so again, I just put that away. I also have little brass prongs or connectors. These are not obviously prongs to go into electric outlets, but you will find prongs on different appliances. So as you can see, this one is gold. I'm just gonna actually pull it off the pin right now. Okay, so there you go. Now, unfortunately, although this is brass here, there is still a piece of copper wire, and I cannot leave that on there if I want to get a clean brass price. They're going to factor in the plastic here. So if I throw these in, I do want to make sure that I cut just above that wire, or below that wire. Okay, this I would now throw into my appliance wire. It's not much, but it's better than going to landfill. And as you can see now, I have a clean, there's a little bit of copper, but they want copper, but that is gonna be clean brass now. So it is going to also go into my brass pile, okay? And you're gonna see different style plugs. This is off of a power cord, okay? And I definitely wanna open this, okay? So those are your small appliances. The big ones, there's a couple things I do wanna say about these. As I said, very thick. If I look inside of here, there is really nice thick copper in there. And this cord would go for $1.23 a pound right now because there is the outer coating on it. And also because of, more importantly, the big thick plastic head. So in order to maximize my profit just for this cord, the first thing I need to do is cut off this head. So what I did was, for this experiment, I've actually cut off another one, okay? And what I've done is I have weighed this head with the prongs, okay? So if I brought this pronged, I got the prongs right here, sorry, this head in, this is just called, it would be classified the same thing as your appliance pronged heads. And it's about 20 to 30 cents a pound, depending on how big they are. Okay, so I could bring these heads in, as is. But what I've done for this video is I've actually done an experiment. Either leave these prongs on or take them off to get the clean brass. So for the sake of this experiment, I've already weighed this. This entire thing with the brass would go, it's about 8 ounces. So if I'm gonna say, even if I put it at 30 cents, which is the top end that you're gonna get for a cord head with the brass, you're looking at about 15 cents Canadian, okay? I took the brass prongs out of this one, as you can see, for this experiment. So here they are, there's 4 nice ones. I've weighed them, and they come to hang on a second, my bad. I gotta make sure, sorry, I recalibrate this. It came to 1.3 ounces. So factoring that in, given the price of brass right now, you're looking just at those 4 prongs at about 21 cents. Okay, just from a little bit of work. And it's very easy to do. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. So as I said already, there's 2 steps. First thing I want to do is I cut the head off. Now, the cord that I have is still very heavy, but this cord, because it has the outer coating as well as the 4 strands with the inner coating, if I left that as is, I'm gonna get $1.23 a pound, okay? In order to get the $1.83, which is 60% recovery instead of 40%, you just need to put this, if you have a stripper, it can go right through your stripper very quick, or you can just cut this off by putting it in your vise using an X-Acto knife and going down to remove the outer cord, okay? So again, I have a video on all of that, so if you're interested in that, how to maximize your profit with copper wire, go check that out, okay? But for this video, as I said, I'm just gonna focus on removing these brass prongs, okay, to maximize your profit with brass. Okay, and I've already have one here. For the sake of this video, I've actually already just taken a piece of chalk and I've gone down the sides. I could use an angle grinder to speed up the process to cut this plastic, but what I find with angle grinders is if I start using them, it starts melting the plastic, and I don't really like to breathe that in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just actually gonna use a handsaw very quickly just to show you how to get this out. Some people will take an angle grinder just to cut this, but they do leave all of that in here. And if you're looking to maximize your profit, you're losing some weight from that brass, okay? So very quickly, just gonna show you how I do it safely without, spilling any type of yucky stuff into the atmosphere. I just use a saw, as I said. Just gonna quickly make 2 incisions. The first one I'm gonna go is just straight down the plastic, okay? And it's nice, actually, you burn some calories, which is good, okay? So I don't have to go all the way down. I'm just gonna go, you know, a couple spots. You can start hearing the brass anyway, but there's one, okay? Then I'm gonna go down this side, and all I'm doing is just removing some of the plastic. Now, I'm sorry my bench is moving here. I'm just gonna turn this a little bit. My bench is moving because I'm too strong. No, this is actually a very light bench, but I love it. Okay, so now I'm gonna make the other incision there, just following that pattern. Okay, and I'm just loosening it up. That's all I'm doing. I'm not trying to break through it. Okay, just take it out and show you. So as you can see, I've made the incisions now. That took me all but 30 seconds. I'm gonna put it back in my vise, and I'm just gonna use a hammer, and I could use a chisel, I could use a screwdriver, which I'm gonna try and do. Just gonna pop it up. Okay. So as you can see, I've pulled it out. Now, I've removed the rest of that tooth. So I've actually just gained an extra almost inch of brass. And my last step, I'm just gonna use science. Gonna put it in my vise again, and I'm just gonna use leverage to pop that up. They're not hard to take out once you expose it. Look at that. Just actually wring it back and forth if I wanted to. It's almost out like that. It's like a wiggly tooth. But I'm gonna speed it up, pull it, and look at that. I gained a lot more brass from that, okay? And I would do that for all my sides. I've already done, for the sake of speed, there's my other one. Put it in as well. Once I've exposed it, there it's already starting to wiggle out. I don't even have to put it back in my vise now. There it is, there's my second one, okay? And I would do that for all of them, okay? There's my front one, I would do that there. The back one here, I would just cut around it, 2 sides, and then same thing, it's gonna be exposed, pop it out, okay? But definitely, it is worth it for this brass. So just from these, 4 prongs from that one, and 2, okay, there's only 6 here now. I just gained, so I said it was 1.3. Let's see how much I have now. And I think this is pretty heavy, okay? This is a nice weight. I have 2.2 right now, okay? So if I did the math there, as I said, 16 ounces, I've gone to about 29 cents just from the brass prongs, okay? And don't forget, I'm still gonna get 15 cents from the head, okay? Because there is still, you can kind of see in the side there, there is still some copper in there. There is still some brass. And obviously there is plastic as well, okay? But definitely something that's worth it. And in my opinion, if you look at my container again, it does not take you that long to pull off those brass prongs. You definitely can maximize your profit over time with the brass, okay? It's entirely up to you though, but definitely I would suggest easy method for the ovens. I would love to find more of those for the nice brass in those, but I will definitely take what I can, and remember that anything I do find, it is great because I have diverted it from the landfill. Hope that was interesting, hope it was informative. If you have any comments or questions, please put them down below. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Tin Man out.